How's it going, guys? Finished up another Yakut knife today. That's my second one. And I think this one came out a little bit better. Improved the sheath a bit. Mainly the belt loop on it. This was, I thought, a rather ingenious idea. I put a D-ring on there on a little piece there that's built into the welt. I just left kind of a tab sticking off of the welt and thinned the end of it down and folded it over with the D-ring in there, glued it in place, and then of course it's stitched in there, and got a heavier piece of leather for the loop that I cut out with a strap cutter. So that was pretty handy, and that should be a bit of an improvement. Other than that, the same basic sheath design. This is not at all a authentic traditional Yakut sheath or anything like that. Although I do think it kind of looks right with the style to me. The traditional ones are usually made from a seamless piece of leather from a cow's tail, and I do have some cows handy, but none of them were into donating their tails. And they're also sometimes made completely out of wood, but this is more practical, I think. And so we'll get this one out of the sheath. There we go. And so I think the fuller on this one came out a little bit better. The first one that I did, I actually didn't forge it deep enough at first, and as I started grinding this side of it, I could tell it wasn't deep enough, so I ended up reforging it and then grinding it again, and the blade overall came out thinner than it would have otherwise, but this one is thicker because I did it right the first time. Came out looking pretty good. Razor sharp, just like the other one. This one's longer as well. This is, let me see, do I have my ruler handy? No, I don't. But I believe it's 5.5 inches. And the handle is about the same length as the blade. Definitely a bigger knife. Same kind of wood, although this piece wasn't quite as nice as the one in the last handle. Tried a new finish on the handle, which I was pretty pleased with. I've been using Watco Danish oil for several years, and I was doing some reading about homemade Danish oil, which is what Danish oil is a mixture of varnish, oil like a linseed oil or a tung oil, and a thinner, usually mineral spirits, but sometimes turpentine. And when you buy the commercially made stuff like Watco, you're basically buying a real expensive can of mineral spirits with some other stuff in it. So I made my own, and for the varnish I used spar urethane, which apparently already has some oils in it, linseed oil or something like that. So I did equal parts of that and linseed oil and turpentine on the last knife, and it was alright as a finish, but I didn't get as much shine out of it as I had hoped for. So I made another batch when I did this knife of just equal parts spar urethane and turpentine with no added oil, and it came out really nice. It got me just what I wanted. Straight spar urethane is a little too thick and too plasticky of a film on there, at least for this kind of wood. I have used it on a plywood handle, which is a lot more absorbent, and that came out pretty good. But with the turpentine added, it really penetrates really well and leaves, in my opinion, just the right kind of finish on there. It should be very tough and weather resistant also. It's smooth but not slippery by any means. Has a good feel to it. I think I'm going to do a couple of more of these, maybe some small ones with like a 3-inch blade. I'd like to make one as a little EDC piece for myself. These are pretty cool blade, I think. I like this edge geometry, and I'd like to make like I said, an EDC one so I can use one a lot and really get a feel for how they work. But incredible cutting ability. I kind of explained the deal with these in the last video of how these blades are made and my theories on why. So if you missed that, you can check that out. But the short version is it's convex on this side, and this side is totally flat with a kind of a big wide fuller forged into it, and it's sharpened by just honing the flat side totally flat on a stone. And incredibly sharp due to that unusual edge geometry. But anyways, that's that. And this one also is for sale. The last one sold already. I got 120 for that one. And this one, even though it's kind of a bit of an improved model, a little bit bigger, I will take 120 for this one also if anyone is interested. So that's it, and thanks for watching.